It's exactly 3 minutes gone past 11. Good morning and many thanks for joining us on Editor's Hangout on Diamond 88.7 of Ilore. All right, let's start today with a quote that says, "Without strong watchdog institutions, impunity becomes the very foundation upon which systems of corruption are built." It's that time where news editors convert a had a formidable voice to issues, events, and happenings within and around us. And I greet you again. I say you're welcome on Editors Hangout, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 of Ilore. And I am your host, Omonike. Babatunde. Do you know you can listen to us or be a part of the program today, irrespective of your location? You can log on to our website at www.diamondfm.net to listen, or you can also be a part of today's conversation by calling directly to the studio line, because our studio line will be open in due course for you to make your positions known. And the number to call is 091 3655 6952, 091 3655 6952, or you send a message to our WhatsApp number on 091 3655 6864. And this morning, to discuss these issues of great importance, I am joined by our General Manager of Diamond 88.7 of Mr. Michael Biodun Olariwaju. You're welcome this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, the land call lady, and good morning to our listeners all over the world.
All right, thank you so much. And very soon we should have Mr. Biodun Akiwumi join us very soon in the house. And today we will be dissecting the tanker explosion that has been recurring in Nigeria, and also the visit of the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu's visit to Kwara State to commission some legacy projects in Kwara State. All right, now we're joined by Mr. Kiwumi. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Good morning, Omonike. Good morning to you that are listening to us all over the world.
All right, let's start with the tanker explosion. Now, a fuel-laden tanker fell while navigating down a hilly busy express road in Enugu State. And not just that, there was a tanker explosion. Well, that tanker eventually exploded. And not long ago, also, there was a crash at Suleja in the north central part of Nigeria in Niger State on Saturday, the 18th of January. And about 77 people were rushed over to collect fuel from the scene. And that exploded some minutes after, with people trying to scoop the fuel off the ground, and it killed dozens, leaving about 25 people injured, and several others have been rescued, officials said. And this is not just the beginning of it. Nigeria has seen a number of similar incidents in recent months. Another fuel tanker involved in a crash exploded in the oil-rich Delta State, killing at least 5 people, and at least 153 people died in explosion while trying to collect the leaked petrol in October. And there has been, several accounts or so of it that we have. Nigeria has experienced about 172 oil tanker accidents and 1,896 deaths since 2009. 2024 saw the highest death toll with 22 fatalities. And in 2020 alone, there were 1,531 petrol tanker crashes, resulting in 535 deaths and injuries to 1,142 people, according to Nigeria's Federal Road Safety Corps. And since the assumption of office of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in May 2023, Nigeria has reported 28 oil tanker accidents, resulting in 468 deaths, accounting for more than 15% of all accidents and nearly 25% of the fatalities recorded since 2009. And now let's talk about these. Let's talk about the origin of fuel tanker in Nigeria, because going by it, what I used to see before when we were small, we barely see most of these on the road, and we barely have so much explosion. So let's talk about the origin of the transportation of, fuel in Nigeria right from the onset before we got to this point where we are.
Thank you so much. before getting to where we are today, most of the fuel are always transported through the pipelines and not through the fuel tanker. The introduction of fuel tanker was as a result of people actually scooping fuel along the pipelines, and when they started scooping fuel, it has led to a lot of fatalities, especially along Lagos axis, before it spill over to some other areas. And this was part of the reasons for the recognition and proper placement given to the Nigerian civil security and civil defense corps. It is the need to protect most of these pipelines that actually encourage the emergence of the Nigerian security and civil defense corps. But be that as it may be, when you look at the origin of explosions in Nigeria, there have been a series of explosions we have had in the past, but not through fuel tanker. Thank God today is 29th of January 2025. On the 27th January 2002, we had the first greatest tragic explosions from the military barracks in Lagos. It was this Monday that it turned to 29th year that explosion happened. Thousands of people were killed in that explosion, and it was traced to the fact that one of the bombs there detonated and started affecting other bombs. And this happened even in the Ikeja cantonment, where we have a large chunk of military personnel as well as their family. Thousands of people were killed. A lot of people around that axis, even all over Lagos, started running etasketa, thinking that maybe it was a bloody coup. And it led to a lot of fatalities, even through people not knowing what and where they are running to, just on the sound of the explosion. Be that as it may be, it will be recalled that later, when they wanted to find solution to this issue of scooping fuel along pipelines, because I remember vividly in the year 2006, 2007, I followed the DSS as a journalist in Kwara here, to somewhere around Ogbomoso, where the pipeline from Ibadan fuel depot was coming to Okeoyi fuel depot in Ilorin. The people there actually used an area in the bush close to Ogbomoso to scoop fuel. They bought expensive materials to be able to cut the pipeline, and started, even where the fuel was being scooped, the area there, the grasses and everything got burnt.
Beyond recognition.
You get the point there? But they were carrying out these activities not only with just mere buckets and this thing, they were even bringing in vehicles, tankers, to scoop fuel, instead of allowing it to pass through the pipeline to the depot. Because in those days you find out almost all the depots, there were depots in many state capitals, whereby fuel will get to, when it is pumped at places like Mosimi depot or Ibadan depot, it will get to the depot of another state capital. So that time we don't need tanker to carry fuel to the state capital.
But what has changed now?
Yes, because of the effects of that period, which the security forces were unable to hurt, made the people engaged in gas and oil to look for alternative, and the alternative is the introduction of fuel
For
tanker.
tankers.
So the introduction of fuel tanker, instead of being a thing of joy to Nigeria, it has now turned to a thing of sadness. Because if you look at it very well, in last year alone, the one that happened on October 15 at Jigawa,
Okay.
you find out that almost about 181 people were killed from that incident at Jigawa alone. And if you look at November 5, 2024 too, along Ibadan-Ife Road, there was another tanker explosion. So on that very faithful ones, people were killed. The one of 18th January 2025, though some recorded that it was 77, some said it was 86 people that actually died. But even reports indicates that even more people die from the fatalities there, leading to a death of about 100 people deaths. So that definitely, if you look at all these things, you find out that the introduction of tanker lorry to carry fuel along Nigerian roads has not been a blessing. It has been a curse on the nation.
All right. You said it has not been a blessing in Nigeria. But then we now need to know, should there not be, as there should be a declaration of a state of emergency in Nigeria at this point in time? Mr. Kiwumi, I'm going to come back to you after this very short break, because now the federal government, I believe they should have made a declaration right now that there's a state of emergency, there's emergency in the land, especially when it comes to, tanker fuel moving around Nigeria. And then this reoccurring situation, it has been reoccurring, we can say nearly annually. It's becoming an annually occurrence now. So how do we break this cycle of reoccurrence happening in Nigeria? Those are the questions we'll come back to after this very short break. Do not change that dial. It's still Editor's Hangout on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin.
Diamond 88.7 FM.
Oh boy, Bajaj Boxer get better wolf this January. Oh.
Hey, not be to
you fit get her for only 1,225,000 naira.
Hey, this one na better. Oh.
Yes, so sharply visit the dealer when near you pass to enjoy them. Offer they available while stock last.
Diamond 88.7 FM.
All right, you're still on to Editor's Hangout on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, and we are talking about the recurrent situation of a fuel tanker exploding in Nigeria, and that is right now the current happenings. And just as Mao had said that it was a blessing initially, but now it's turned out to be a curse in Nigeria. Well, now, Mr. Kiwumi, before we went on that break, I asked you a question that shouldn't the federal government have declared, a state of emergency regarding these, where we know lives have been lost. Looking at the numbers of statistics or the data we got online regarding the thousands of people that has lost their lives to this, and then how do we have a breaking cycle of this reoccurrence, or are we even going to have any break at all, going by the insecurity situation in Nigeria?
Well, I don't think that is going to stop anytime soon, because the trajectory of using fuel tanker to export fuel from one of the country or the other has been a cost to Nigeria. Because before, as Mao said, we used to have all these depot. We have in Ore, we have in Okoye, we have in Ibadan, we have in Wasimi, a lot of places. So if you are having a petrol station in Ilorin, you just go to Okoye. To fuel less than 10 kilometers, you are already at your petrol station. But now, if you have a petrol station in Niger State, you have to go to Lagos. Some are even go to Benue State. Now you have to be on road, some for 12 hours, some for 24 hours, before they get to wherever they are going. And you know that those roads are not 100% in the right place. Okay. Look at the Ilorin Ibadan Express Road now. From Oyo to Gumosho, it's an eyesore. Even the contractor are not even on the road again. So the construction of this road has even increased the problem of these tankers on the road. Another issue is even the Nigerians too. After the fuel tankers maybe it's already run on the road, they will try to be scooping the fuel. And you know the danger in a petrol is highly inflammable product. So, and I think at this time, another option would have been to be using this tanker through the rail lines is even better than the roads. But presently now, someone that have petrol station in Niger State cannot sell, should come and they should not sell fuel. So I think the long-term solution will be the repair of these petrol pipelines. In other countries where that's even bigger than Nigeria, they maintain their pipelines. So we cannot say because we have vandals and we now abandon the pipelines. So it's the duty of government to protect. There was a time during the Jonathan that they give the contract to OPC and able to guide those pipelines. So, and one of the core mandate of NSCDC is to protect these national assets. So I believe the NNPC should try and refurbish all these petrol pipelines, so that we can be using these depots again. So once we use this depot, the time of distance that these trailers cover will definitely be reduced. So, and it will reduce the chances of them having accidents. These tankers, there is no way they cannot be having accidents, because, and even the issue of our roads, because some road where there is bend, a bend that a small car can negotiate, it's not be easy for a freight tank. And we are even looking at the lives, even the economic implication on these petrol dealers. The value of a 33,000 liters petrol of tankers now is very high. The tanker itself and the product in it. Another one even tumbled in Niger State yesterday, but thank God there was no casualty. So this has been occurring, and it's going to until the government repair this pipeline, or better still, make use of the rail to transport this. If we transport through the route, I'm sure this thing will still continue, because the quality of our road is even another thing to mention. Because I pity a trailer that we pass through Gomosho and on your road now. Even cars and even buses, we pass through that road, and that is the most of the only alternative route from Ibadan going to the north. So what the federal government doing repair that road has been there since the time of Obasanjo. They start the one Ibadan to Oyo, Ibadan to Oyo, they finish it. The time of Jonathan, they did the one from Gomosho to Ilorin. Now the problem has been Oyo and Gomosho. Since only God knows, that road has been there.
But again, if we're going to talk about the construction of road now, because I believe law are in place to put us all in order. Now, can't we say there's a retrogression of law, when there's no enforcement of law happening? I think last week or per week, we still spoke about this enforcement of law regarding the Kwara State, the unity issue we had last week. And, enforcement of law is coming in again. Now, is there retrogression of law? And again, I'm going to talk about impunity, because no one is going to be, blamed. No one's going to be punished for some of these things. Because yesterday I was listening to, I think it was the NSCDC officer when he was talking about, or was it the road safety? He was talking about the fact that some of these tankers are not fit to be on the road. They are not fit to be on the road. Now, who is enforcing the law of them not being on the road? Who is checking every single container moving on the road, on the path where humans are definitely going to fly? So this is where the question lies. Now, are we having retrogression of law in Nigeria, and as impunity come to stay in Nigeria, because people are not getting punished for most of these happenings?
Look, there are a lot of gaps in between, and that is why people make use of the lacunas in our law to actually flout the laws. There are laws that even any heavy duty vehicle should be checked at specific points. Like for instance, any heavy duty vehicle leaving Lagos has to be checked before getting out of Lagos at a specific spots. But by and large, over the years, most of these things have not been taking place. Where they were even supposed to be checked, are we sure that the people there are actually doing their work? Are we sure that even those people who are employed to do these things, if and when most of them are retired, have we got successors for them? For how long as the civil service employed last. Then along the line, when you see most of these vehicles, like Governor Uba of Enugu State suggested, that they should install anti-spill lock on all these petrol tankers. There is no single petrol tanker in Nigeria today that has this anti-spill lock installed on it, so that even when they fall, it will not be easy for the fuel to spill. You get the point there? These are some of the things, because even if they have to install anti-spill lock on some of these tankers, I am sure that it will shoot up the prices, and this will reduce the number of fatalities that occur anytime there's an accident. Then along the line, there was one thing that really happened and baffled people like me. Research have shown that in recent times, some of the young ones who are not even supposed to be driving heavy duty lorries like tankers have been employed and engaged as drivers, even by some of the big companies we have in Nigeria that has majority of these tanker going on the road. And some of these young ones who are even supposed to be in school, now that are now engaged as tanker drivers, some of them were into some other things to actually make them to be bold. Some were alleged to be taking some drugs or alcohol in order to instill boldness in them. And it is this crop of drivers that drive these tanker lorries. So this now poses greater danger on the tanker they are driving, and this poses another danger on other Nigerians. But above all, even if there is a tanker accident, if Nigerians could actually desist from trying to scoop fuel, I believe that the fatalities will have been reduced.
Okay, the fatality would have reduced if people, desist from trying to, scoop some of the fuel. And I think that there is a broadcast I see all around now regarding the broadcast, the scooping of fuel. I hope people would abide by it and try to save their own lives. Let's take reaction from you. 09136556952. 09136556952 is the number to call to hear your opinion regarding this. And we still have the emergency response in Nigeria being one of the issues which I wish we could talk about today. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're welcome, sir. What's your name?
I'm Kaide. I'm calling from Gakabi.
All right, you're welcome, Mr. Kaide.
Yes, I think we need to emphasize law enforcement. If we really want to control this issue about fuel transportation vis-a-vis the fuel tanker accident. Now, I don't know, I've never been to some other advanced countries, but just like the analysts have said, I think the best way is just to use the pipeline. And the problem we have is that we have lost our sense of patriotism. If not so, we should be able to see something and say something. But instead of saying something to say something, we will see something and help and become accomplices. So, which is a terrible thing. And then the tankers we used to know, they used to carry 33,000 liters. Many tankers now are carrying 45,000 liters, 60,000 liters. This is already too heavy for the vehicle itself, and too heavy over for our road infrastructure. All just because somebody somewhere is trying to maximize profit. I think it's a terrible thing. I think the best thing is just to move back to either to the pipeline or to the rail system. God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Kayode, for your contribution. 09136556952. 09136556952 is still the number to call, or you send us a message on our WhatsApp number on 09136556864. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You're connected. All right, please do well to call back 09136556952. Still the number to call to hear your opinion on this before we move to our second story. 09136556952. Or you send us a message on 09136556864. Hello, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning. This is Rotimi from Uro.
You're welcome, Mr. Rotimi.
How are you, Miss Omonike?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. And you, sir?
Fine, thank you. See, the problem we have in Nigeria is corruption. And nobody wants to work anymore. They want to make easy money. I want to know why Mr. President said he removed subsidy. He said only few people are making money out of this. So how did they make it? He made it money through vandalization. Let us face reality. It's the bottom line. They dare to smuggling this petroleum. Do they cop that one? They don't cop it. Who are these people making this money? Few people that are making this money out of this petroleum. Who are they? They are smugglers. They are vandalists. But he will not tell us up to today. All he say he want to remove subsidy because only few people are enjoying this money. That's one thing. But for the safety, let me tell you, when you go to depot, the way people loaded this fuel, there's nobody check their truck. They just fill it with their truck and they just go to the ship. Do they spend? Does the government spend money on the road? No. So it's just greediness, selfishness, and lack of concern for the government. That's the problem. That everybody wants to make easy money. Nobody wants to control all the time. That's what is going on. It's easy money they want to make. I hate it. If not so, all this must be safe. All this one, all the pipeline we are talking about, there must be a gardeners, there must be a security, full security, line up, guiding all this kind of thing. But at the middle of night, this so-called gardener or something, they support them, they make the father like all this kind of thing. Before the morning comes, everything's gone. They stay. So nobody's worthy, nobody's trusting anybody anymore. That's the problem. The government is not, it's government, we cannot trust government against them. Talk less of those people who are fatherless their pipeline. Thank you so much. You have a nice day. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Rotimi. Thank you so much for your contribution. 09136556952. Still the number to call. Let's go on this very short break, and when we're back, we'll pick one more two calls, and then we'll move to the second story. Or before we do, 091, let's pick this, then we'll go on a break. Hello? Hello, you're connected. Kindly move away from your radio so we can hear you, please.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Kindly be more audible.
Yes. All what is happening in Nigeria now is the fault of America.
Sir, I still need you to move away from your radio, please.
They are not care for the life of the people. They are standing for people. The problem is also.
Okay, I would need you to move away from your radio so we can hear you. The feedback is not so good for the hearing. So thank you so much. Please do well to call back, okay? Hello.
Hello, good morning, Omonike.
Good morning. You're welcome, sir. Your name, sir?
This is Malam calling from Okefuma.
All right, you're welcome, Malam.
You see, Mao has said it all. The problem of this country are majorly caused by Nigerians, not only the government.
Okay.
Because the topic you are discussing is about our security. And security, as I used to say, is a collective responsibility. So when you see something, say something.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a particular thing I experienced. I was on a bike that day. I was just passing through Ilorin town, and I saw a particular tanker carrying fuel. Then the fuel was leaking as if the vehicle was moving. It was leaking like this. Wow. So I was now raised an alarm that people in this community ought to have stopped the driver. Because just imagine if any spark just happened, what do you think would happen? So that is to tell you that our security, they need to raise up to their occasion and discharge their duty without being corrupt. And at the same time, Mao said one thing, that most of these drivers, majority of them, they were youth, of which majority of them are addicted with hard drugs. So what do we expect? So Nigerian government and we people of Nigeria, we need to support and join hands together to fight this scoping of the thing. And lastly, our orientation agency, including your station too, we need to sensitize the people about if unfortunate incident just happen, they should not, even move near, not to talk of maybe scooping fuel from this. And to me, I believe it's a property mentality anyway. For God save us in this country. That is my thing. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Malam. Thank you for your contribution. All right, the number to call is still 09136556952. But we'll have to go on this very short break. Afterwards, we'll be back to pick calls and move on to our second story. Do not change that dial. It's still Editor's Hangout on Diamond 88.7 FM.
Diamond 88.7 FM.
Oh boy, Bajaj Boxer get better wolf this January.
Hey, not be to
You fit get her for only 1,225,000 naira.
Hey, this one na better.
Yes, so sharply visit the dealer when near you pass to enjoy them. Offer they available while stock last.
Diamond 88.7 FM.
All right, 34 minutes gone past 11. You're still on to Editors Hangout on Diamond 88.7 FM. And I am your host, Omonike Babatunde. And I still have our General Manager in the house. And I still have Mr. Kilme in the house this morning. Let's pick one more call, then we'll go for our second story. You're welcome. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Alaji Garuba Idris Alapata.
You're welcome, Alaji.
Thank you very much. I've been listening to all the analysis, and to me, you see, this thing has been happening. Look at what is happening in South South. To me, to my own view, you know that after individual view, the rate of poverty make us to ignore some of the normal things to be done. Even fuel tanker movie, to me, if I'm driving very close, what of the tanker would you give me and then just to one of them? I always fear them. I don't live again. Because, one, moving on the street alone that they do, not talk of when they fall. And to me, look at what has been happening in the South South. When fuel leakage, the underapproach, the poverty-driven human beings, they are not there. They are carrying what is funny. A little scattering, everybody dies. They die like a thief. To me, you people, the media, not only whatever media, educate, sensitize Nigeria, the NASO, educate Nigeria. They will not look in the morning, they won't pay to spend. Because when the partners were, and then they want to pay, then any to package, they won't die like fish. So, to me, that,
Well, with you, sir.
Yeah.
Please go on.
So those analyzing, they are saying that one time, even if they carry to pay by the way, don't you let them some videos are even trying to do I'm by the way. So Nigerians, we are too notorious. I'm trying to say it. The way I look at the Nigerians, we are too notorious. So that opportunity. Yeah, at the end of the day, my mother said, please, my husband, look for the money you will take to spend. Maybe what will die.
Thank you so much, Alaji.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution. All right, thank you so much. We have to go for our second story right now. All right, moving on to the second story. Nigeria's First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu embarked on a 3-day visit to Kwara State on Tuesday, bringing a wave of excitement to the region. And upon her arrival at the General Tunde Idiagwe International Airport at 10:45 a.m., she headed straight to the Kwara State University of Education to inaugurate the ICT Community Center. And this ICT was built by the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, in partnership with the renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, a foundation of the First Lady, which is designed to offer valuable technology training and resources to local communities. And not just that, she officially launched an ultra-modern intensive care unit, RCU, and Dr. Amada Luku Ward, 2 significant healthcare projects initiated by Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak. And not just that, there are several other things, several other projects. That's a legacy project which she is going to, she's going to commission today. And and some of them include the groundbreaking of the Oluremi Tinubu Hospital, the unveiling of important infrastructure like the Emir Ibrahim Sulugambari flyover, the General Tunde Idiagma flyover, and a tour of the governor's other impressive projects, including the Innovation Hub, Visual Art Center, and Garment Factory. And, meanwhile, some of those legacy projects, just as I mentioned earlier, they were named after some prominent persons in Nigeria. And that's talking about the Emir of Ilorin, Dr. Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, CFR, and also the one that will be named after the Nigerian First Lady herself, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. That's the Civil Service Clinic project. And also we have that of the Rashidi Yekini, that's the stadium, and also we have several of them. But then to cut it all short now, let's assess this legacy project now of the Abdurrahman Abdurrazak administration. That's in terms of the impact it has and the sustainability of it. Let me start with Mahu. Now, how would you assess it? Let's get an assessment from you of all these legacy projects being commissioned.
Yes, it's good that we are lucky to have the First Lady in Kwara State.
Okay.
Naturally, politicians will look at the arrival of a big guest like the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as an added blessing to any state. This is because the pet project of the First Lady, Renewed Hope Initiative, is always good that is working in collaborations with some other agencies in order to actually give hope to the hopeless. But by and large, as I see the Renewed Hope Initiative, I would want the First Lady to go further to ensure that the Renewed Hope Initiative extends to industrialization, so that through industrialization more Nigerians will be employed. And I will want the Renewed Hope Initiative to go more, not only in terms of ICT, but also look at areas whereby they could have impact on agro-allied industry. So that is just one of the best way to bring down inflation and contribute towards the economic development of the country.
All right. Talking about the economic development of the country, Mr. Kiwumi, now let's talk about the economic impact of these projects now. Are they of immediate priority at this point in time, going by the economic reality we have?
Well, infrastructure is part of investment, and there is nobody that will come and invest in a place where there is no infrastructure. And such infrastructure is good road network, electricity, good earth. And if you see the word that was commissioned yesterday, you could that it was equipped with the state-of-the-art equipment. No doubt about that. So, and these are things that you need in a good urban center that needs an investment. So, and the commission of the Tunde Diagman flyover will relate to the rest. A lot of insinuation about that bridge that is not doable, this is that. So that has led that to the rest. That means once it's been commissioned, people will use it. So that has led to rest. It's not good for that has led to rest, and it's a good development for that area, for that axis. And if you see the picture of the Ibrahim Suligambari flyover in Unity, that place is very beautiful in the night. The street light and everything. So and we hope that will be sustained. It will not be like this of Asadam, where later it was vandalized by people. So I hope those places will be. So it's good, and it will uplift the development of Kwara State. And welcome the First Lady and even the empowerment too. So, but I would like that empowerment will be extended to men too.
To men?
Yes. Because it was mostly women and children.
So First Lady is focused on women and ladies. So and we expect to extend it to men too.
All
so
right.
At least we are part of society, and we are even the most of time we are even the breadwinners. So
all right.
I would expect her to extend it to men too.
Thank God she's in Kwara State. We believe one way or the other this will get to her hearing, and we hope she will take action. But then now let's look at a controversial issue that's been going regarding the Tunde Diagbo flyover bridge. Now, do you think this, the commissioning of it, for within these 3 days will resolve all the controversy regarding the usage of it?
Let me tell you, politicians being politicians, even after the commissioning, they will still raise one or the other controversy. Politics and controversy goes hand in hand.
5 and 6.
Because you find out in the game of politics, it is a game of conspiracy. Once you are in power, other people who are now opposition will conspire against those people in power. So that is normal in politics. So even after the commissioning, after its usage, and there will still be other controversy will still crop up. Opposition will still have cause to raise issues, but without opposition, democracy cannot thrive.
Okay.
But as far as I'm concerned, that commission has laid it to rest.
Yes.
Because at least after the commission, people will use it.
Yes.
So when they will not use it, they will not use it. That has laid it to rest. So people will use it, and I know that government cannot commission a project that is not suitable for people use. So I'm sure of that. So I know that will lead to rest. But as Bawa said, politicians, they want to score political points. That was but as an average citizen that we are not politicians, we know that opening of that bridge will lead to rest all these controversies. Because controversies in the past, as not opening the bridge at times has laid credence to maybe those allegations are true. So but as
there are substandard.
so as I been opening now, so that has led it to rest. So and I hope the people will enjoy it, and they should make sure that those things is being maintained very well, especially the lights on the bridge. So once those lights is there, there will not be crime on the bridge and not. So I hope and I believe that those infrastructure will be really good and maintained, especially the street lights, so that 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, those things will not be vandalized.
All right, thank you so much. Now let's go to the naming of all these legacy projects. If we're going to start with the Unity Flyover Bridge, has been named after the Emir of Ilorin, Dr. Ibrahim Sulugan Bare, the multi-billion naira civil service clinic project after Nigerian First Lady. The road leading to flyover is now to be called the Tafa Balewa Road, a gesture to honor the Nigerian former Prime Minister. And also, not just that, the renaming of the ICT Center has been named after former Minister Amina Undalolo Ojuel of Kwara North. And not just also that, there are several others. Also, Dr. Amuda Aluko, also that's for the Kwara State Teaching Hospital, was named after him, and several others. Also, the first State Secretariat is now to be called the Brigadier General David Bamigboye Secretariat, in honor of the first military administrator of the Old Kwara State. And also the new secretariat is named after Rear Admiral Mohammed Alabi Lawal, who governed the state between 1999 and 2003. What do you say regarding? We also have that of Rashidi Yekini. I think I omitted that in my script. But then, what do you see to the naming of all these facilities?
The naming of the facilities are quite good, but politicians being what they are, will always still have some things to actually criticize on. Some have said that there are ethnic insinuations on the naming of some of the places.
Yes, there has been claims about it.
Yes, because politicians being what they are, they will always watch closely at what those in power are doing. Even those in power too, even they will be monitoring the gestures of the oppositions. So it's normal, but by and large, it's good that those projects were named after prominent or eminent Nigerians. But by and large, some are still having some other views that it's not a balanced affair, that there is an ethnic coloration in the naming.
So well, over time, do we hope to see the governor, making probably amendment to all this?
Well, look, even in Niger State, the airport in Minna was named after a prominent journalist. A few years after, when the present president got to power, it has now been changed to President Bola Tinubu International Airport. It has been changed from Abaka Imam to President Bola Tinubu International Airport. So, just as Alhaji Lateef Jakande, in one of the interviews I had with him around 2003. He once said that Ọba mẹ́wàá ìgbà mẹ́wàá, that we have 10 kings with 10 seasons, that everything is just seasonal, but at least they have started something from somewhere.
Something has been started already.
Well, I believe it's a good thing.
Okay.
And it's a way of encouraging people that are alive and those that are your good things will not go unnoticed.
Yeah, right.
And it's a way of immortalizing, and it's a good thing. And I'm happy that it's not only those that are dead that have been named one thing or the other, those that are alive too. So, and it's to like, okay, well, what I've been doing all over the years is being noticed, so let me do more.
Okay.
And governors do it. It's being between its power
right.
as the governor of the state, and most especially that of Rashidi Yekini, it has been long overdue because it's the best striker Nigeria has produced, and it's from Kwara State. So name the stadium after him is a good thing,
right.
and it's from Kwara South. So I far as some, I don't see any correlation to it.
Okay,
from Kwara
see
South,
any correlation
from
to
Kwara
it.
North, has been former governor, first governor of Kwara State. Is from Kwara South. Rashidi Yekini is also from Kwara South. So there's no way people will not see his way, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a good thing.
All right.
Naming it after people,
right.
and to youth that are coming, to be a sport to them that any good thing that you do will not go unnoticed. And those that are still alive, they will to do more, because if they are naming things after you, it means that what you have been doing,
you're making impact.
You are making impact, so it will spoil to make more impact.
All right.
So it's a good thing.
Thank you so
And
much.
it will encourage others to be doing good.
All
and
right.
those that are there today, you know that do good so that you will remember tomorrow.
Okay, all right, let's open our studio line for contributions. We have about less than 10 minutes to the end of the program. 091-3655-6952. Let me take this reaction to the first topic of the day. And he says, good morning, Omonike and our guest in the studio. Our guests have actually spoken well. We need to know that corruption has indeed bastardized all our systems. All we are after in this nation is money. It's like majority of us from the head to bottom now value money more than life. The giant called corruption should be seriously prayed against and dealt with before we can actually get it right. May God in his infinite mercy help us out in Jesus' name. From Mr. Yemi Onir from Onireke in Ilorin. The number to still call is 091-3655-6952. Hello, good morning.
Hello, yeah, this is Rotimi. Come back.
All right, you're welcome, Mr. Rotimi.
Our guests and our analysts have spoken well. But I want to remind you something. You know, during the Obasanjo regime, he visited the Kwara. I want to commission the Bukola project. You all know. He visited Ekiti State. He visited the Fire Safe project. Up to that project led to Fire Safe dismissal in his position. He went to poultry. No single man could see bear kankan lé adìyẹ. So that is another thing. Now what I want to say is this kind of, does all this project meet standard? Thank you so much. That is like it.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Rotimi from Oro. That is, these projects, do they meet up to standard? That's another question he has raised today. Well, I hope the federal government and the chief press secretary will address this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This
You're welcome back.
From
You're welcome.
Yes. Yes, I want to really appreciate for somebody like me that have lived in Ilorin for like 50 years now. And I grew up in Ilorin. I came in as an infant. Yeah. And I lived around so much in so many places, Saboke, Police Road, and so on and so forth, and GRA. Okay. It's a good thing that this kind of development that is coming up now, I think I want to praise the present government in Kwara State for all these projects coming up, the civil service clinic and everything, and trying to return sanity to what we used to know GRA for. GRA is supposed to be a place for strictly business, government business. No distraction of any sort, no turning a roadside to trading centers, no turning the roadside to motor park. No. And I think that sanity is returning gradually, regardless of whatever anybody is trying to say. But the issue is this. I think the government should just go ahead to try to decongest the city center. Now, creating satellite towns, and so that you still maintain those towns. The name and tradition of those towns will still be maintained.
Okay.
It's not as, yes. So you make it satellite towns to decongest the city center. As against the one that is we are trying to say now that extending the city center, extending the land area, that means that you are going into another man's area and calling it the name of another, calling it another name. I think it's not going to help. But when you create satellite towns, it will help because you are trying to decongest the city center so that development can be spread. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kennedy. Thank you for your contribution. 09136556952, the number to still call to make your position known. You can also send us a message on our WhatsApp number 09136556864. Well, we haven't spoken about the ICT Center. Now, do we look forward to the ICT in Nigeria, in Kwara State being one of the best? Because, well, I think at some point we look at Lagos being the hub of ICT in Nigeria. Do we see Kwara probably competing very soon with the likes of Lagos State soon?
Well, if the ICT hub is being equipped and if the right facility is there and even the right manpower, definitely Kwara State can compete very well with Lagos State. If the facilities is there and if those facilities is properly maintained. Because I used to say that maintenance is very, very key. We have seen facilities like that before, that after 2, 3, 4 years, it will not be like it used to be. So once it is equally maintained and the right people are there, definitely Kwara can compete with Lagos State. The most important thing is good people going to be empowered there. Are they going to be equipped with right ICT skill that can make them to compete with Lagos and Abuja people? So when that is done, before you know now, that place will turn into a big hub. Even people from other states will come there. And so I hope that is what is coming up, and to be a good thing, it will even increase the economic facilities around that area, and even the whole Kwara Ilorin we notice, because imagine like 5,000 people is in that place. They will rent house, they will buy food, and they will have impact on the economy. So I hope that hub will serve that purpose.
Okay, and how about the impact of it on youth in Kwara State?
Anyway, it will revolutionize the thoughts of the youths.
Okay.
Because, in the right ICT mindset, the mindset of the youth too will start to change. Like, for instance, one of the problems of the youth in our state, Kwara here, is the issue of entitlement mentality. With the right equipment from the ICT, this mentality will change.
All right.
Actually, the horizon about life will eventually be changed.
All right, thank you.
But by and large, we must be careful that power must be made to be constant, so that there should be other sources of power, not only the hydroelectric or any this. There should be so many other sources of power.
All right, thank you so much. Now let's have your reaction to the first and the second story in few seconds, so we can sign out.
Yes, Nigeria can go back to the basis of getting fuel across to the people, which is through pipelines, and by actually making sure that the security of these pipelines are given ultimate attention, so that definitely the era of tanker explosion will come to an end and Nigerians will live in peace.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
Well, I will advise the government to let us go back to the good old days of using the pipelines, because that's the best, and that's what we have all over the world. And I hope the commission, this project that is commissioned by the First Lady, will stand the test of time, and it will uplift the infrastructure we have in Kwara State and attract a lot of investment from around the world.
Thank you so much. All right, that's the size of the program today, and special thanks to the general manager of this station, and he's also the chief producer of Editors Hangout, Mao for short. Thank you so much for that, and also join us next week for same time, same station for a fresh episode of this program. And remember this quote that we say is, "What I fear most is power with impunity. I fear abuse of power and the power to abuse." I remain Omonike Babatunde. We'll continue this conversation next week. Do well to make sure you keep listening to them in the 88.7 FM Ilori. To have a wonderful day.